Kick us off with, what does customer marketing look like at Klue?
So when I started at Klue, we didn't really have a clear definition of what we wanted customer marketing to be. The first thing I did is really go to the end user, to go to our revenue teams and understand, what do you have today? What are some of the challenges that you're seeing in trying to sell and market our solution? And how can I help fill those gaps with social proof, which is, I think, one of the benefits of customer marketing. So by starting with our internal end user, that's what really led to my discovery phase. Working very closely internally with our CS team, looking at our CRM to see where I can see success signals, and then creating relationships. And I think the foundation for all of my customer marketing programs has been to establish a really strong relationship with our customer. And if you don't build a good relationship with your customer and make it mutually beneficial, nothing you create will be authentic, and there's really no point in it. What it looks like today at Klue is really evolved. Our customer marketing function covers everything from your typical success marketing. We're creating content for our customers and bringing those to life through different channels so that we can highlight their success and them as individuals and their programs and how we play a part of it. I definitely believe that any customer marketing content we create should not only be about Klue. I love Klue, but it's not just us. It's the team, it's the program, and our customers behind that are really doing it. But it's evolved to include advisory services. We have a reference program, and then we also run retention marketing and lifecycle marketing as ways to really ensure our customers are understanding the value and growing their programs and learning from each other. That includes best practice guides, that includes community programs, it also includes mentorship, which is a new program we just launched.
I'm curious how you dog food or drink your champagne, depending on how you frame it. But like, how do you use Klue in customer marketing at Klue?
Yes, absolutely. We do drink our own champagne at Klue. One of the first things I needed as a customer marketing is a container to put all this great content that my end users and my internal teams are asking for. We happen to use Klue. I want to encourage all of our teams to use our platform, but also I'm familiar with it, so I wanted to go into a tool that I knew right away. And I've created a system where I have different cards and they're tagged and different content pieces that link out to other places where you could go. So for example, you can go into Klue and get a high level snapshot of, okay, what is this customer spotlight? What's great about this customer? What were their pains? Why did they choose you? What are some of the value results that they're seeing? Great. Then I want to go into more details. When I start at this card level, I can click links and go to maybe the details, even to the gong recording itself. So I've created a nice pyramid system that lets people, our reps, lets our marketers, lets our SDRs find what they need quickly and then guide them where they need to go internally to get more information. And I've been able to show that actually to a lot of our customers who are looking for expanded use cases. We're competitive enablement to start, now we're win-loss, but there's no reason why you can't house completed content in Klue itself. And even like looking at integrating with you all with Laudable as a way to pull in information from Gong quickly.
Yeah. And you talked about paying attention to the revenue needs, right? How do you measure success? Like, what KPIs do you pay closest attention to?
Measurement of anything you're doing in customer marketing is obviously like critical. How do I know that my content's being used? How do I know that my references are supporting actual revenue closed? So there's several metrics that I use to track both internal usage as well as impact to revenue. Starting with content. So because everything is in Klue, I can track usage metrics in Klue. So I can see, okay, the number of reps that are coming in and looking at certain stories because I have them tagged. I can look at the battle cards that they've viewed from the content I've created. So usage metrics in Klue is a big one for me. I also, some of the customers that I bring into my customer marketing programs ultimately become very strong references. I like to joke that I give customers a menu and say, really, what's going to work for you? You have choices. You can either create content with us, we can do a video, we can have you speak at an event, it could be a podcast, really what's most beneficial, because mutually beneficial programs are going to be the most successful. And a lot of times customers really want to elevate their own personal brand. So I try to find really what's driving them. And then wherever we take that content, it's just measuring usage. So if it's a demand gen piece that we take a case study or a content piece and put that into our demand gen cycles, it's, okay, what are the click-through rates? What are the typical demand gen metrics that you would have on that campaign versus the rest? So we try to track not only creation, internal usage, but also distribution through the different go-to-market channels. Those are huge. But references, you can tie directly to deals. So everything is tracked in HubSpot for us. And I can see, okay, this customer reference was used on these deals, and this is how much revenue that brought in. And I always make sure to go back to the customer to send them something, thank them for helping us win that business. It comes full circle and definitely has to be measured and tracked in the tools that you're using.
Amazing. And you're talking about ways to incentivize, motivate, and align interests between yourself and or your organization and the customer. You mentioned personal brand, which I have seen unanimously be probably the top motivator. What other ones are you seeing? What's your pie chart of what you think works best for aligning company and customer interests around advocacy?
Yeah, I think there's got to be something in for them. There's only so much a customer is willing to do to help support a vendor or a brand. Let's be honest, like they get asked by every brand and vendor that they work with, finding opportunities for them to market the work that they're doing and not stand in front of them and their program with your tools. So when I say that we are a part of a successful competitive enablement program, it's the truth. A program can't be successful without the right people, without the right process, without the right executive support. So making sure you highlight the full circle of factors that go into making that program successful for the customer, and then where you play a part. So that's one thing. Elevation within their role and within their company. I've seen lots of customers get promoted. I've seen improvements in jobs. I've seen going out on their own and being consultants. So I think just being able to find a path. A lot of customers come to me and say, can I do XYZ because I'm interested in this specific area within competitive, and that helps launch them into almost like a thought leader into that space or whatever it might be. So really finding other opportunities, not that we want our customers to leave their companies, but it just naturally elevates them in the work that they're doing, and I think that helps.
Those are always my favorite stories, hearing that a particular customer marketing initiative created new job opportunities for someone. Like by featuring the story of Julie, she then got elevation to have visibility by the CEO. She got a promotion. She got a new job. Like those are the best. I feel like that's advocacy at its finest.
Absolutely. It feels more like it's a two-way street. And customer marketing is a two-way street. It is not, if you think about it as a way to support only what you need as an organization or go-to-market team, you're going to be falling short. Because if that's the short-term vision for it, I think the longer-term vision, which actually keeps customers coming back and like really builds a stronger relationship, is creating programs that are going to help them as well. And I think, I don't know, that's just like a different mindset I think you have to stay in when you do this. But the other part of it is networking. Because we run a mentorship program at Klue, the value in mentorship, sure, it's like learning how things are done from others, but it's just the ability to network and meet other peers. There's not a ton of opportunities to be able to do that anymore, especially now with everything being virtual and remote. So like giving opportunities to meet, network, share, I think is hugely valuable. And we don't even charge for it either. And I think it's one of our bigger differentiators actually at Klue. It's a lot of reasons why prospects choose us over our own competitors, because of our programs that we offer and how much value we place in mentorship and best practices.
Yeah, this is huge.
Yeah.
Shifting gears a little bit, what is your top advice for someone in marketing at a startup who says, we have all these happy customers, but we don't do anything with them? Where do I start?
I would first figure out what's needed from your internal teams while you're meeting these customers. If you want to segment your customers, you can do that by like deal size or logo or ACV or whatever it might be. But I'd work both sides of the coin at the same time. I'd figure out, hey, we've got a happy customer mix internally. What do we want to work with these customers? Because I'm going to promote them anyways, but is there some value that we can get from sharing their stories externally? So I think I would understand the needs, and I would for sure build relationships. And don't approach customers as if, can you do me a favor or can you give us a quote? It's really, can we work together to find a program that really fits what you're personally interested in doing and that would maybe mutually benefit us. And I think that is a little bit of a different way of asking than, can you do this for us? Think about like small, like little gifts and small, like memento, things that will make someone feel good. It's an emotional side of marketing, or more like this relationship side of marketing. It just makes them feel like they're thanked. And I think it's important to thank as part of this.
Yeah, that little thoughtful snippets of exchanges.
Like it goes back to the short-term objective. Sure, you don't need to do that if you want a short-term. But if you're thinking about building a sustainable program that's going to grow and evolve and even evolve them into different, like we have an advisory program at Klue called the Klue Advisor Program that could spin off into different things. We have an executive segment and we have a practitioner segment, and that could turn into a CAB down the line, like customer advisory board, or even like a customer board. There's so many flavors of that, but I think it's because we spent in the early days a lot of time trying to really create a strong relationship with our customers, especially our happy ones, but they're not always all happy either. I think if you build a relationship with a customer, even when the times do get rough for them, you still have a great customer that will take you to the next place, and also that you could potentially save if you have a good relationship with them.
Last quick question. Is there anything new or different that you're excited to try this year within customer marketing?
So there's new programs I want to launch. I would love to launch a referral program. I think B2B referrals, it's tough if you don't offer anything incentivized. So it's a challenge to figure out how can we structure a referral program, but we're basing it off of like trust and a really strong relationship rather than just pure incentive. I haven't cracked that nut yet, so I'm working on that one. And then I think the other biggie for me is Klue has gone from a single product company to a multi-product company. We bought Double Check Services it's been over a year now, and we've made it as part of our product. So that has totally different implications on G2 and on references. And so we're migrating almost like two businesses into one, into our marketing channels. And I think that's going to be huge. And then I guess the last one would be retention, like really strong retention programs and plugs along the customer journey. If we can understand customer signals early on, customer signals good and bad early on in the cycle and journey with our customer, I'd love to make that more of a program so that we can support and help those customers when we start to detect maybe negative signals. That last one is probably like my top one I'd love to launch this year.